Don't add lighting to the Jeep Gladiator. It can be addictive. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Rob Motive JT. And that's right, don't add extra lighting to your Jeep Gladiator because it can become addictive. You know, I used to think people were nuts for adding extra lights, all kinds of lights and stuff. And then I met my buddy Randall. You see, Randall, he's big into lighting. So he's added lights all over his Jeep Gladiator. He has a Mojave too. You may have seen some installs on his Jeep Gladiator on the channel. But as I grow more accustomed to seeing his truck, I've kind of caught the bug. I'm addicted. I've added more lights. Let's take a quick look and then I'll tell you what my most recent plan is. I think what I'm going to do, I'm pretty sure what I'm going to do with the Jeep Gladiator. Now, we have to go out to the front because I recently added a bumper, or put a bumper on that I had actually, and it was the 3-piece Rubicon bumper. And one thing that Randall had done is he had added some driving lights, fog lights, whatever you want to call them, to the front of his. These are awesome. I love the look on the front of the Gladiator, particularly amber, I know, amber, against the red that I have. That is a cool combination. I also have LED lights in the bumper itself, the other fog lights or driving lights, whatever you want to call them. And then in the back, well, first we have to stop in the cab because you see, I added lighted switches. You know, you had to have lighted switches for the lights that I've added. You can see them pop on there. I think that's cool. Love the extra lighting inside, even though I know it's pretty darn small. But let's go on to the back. Recently, again, I put a new bumper on the back, a steel bumper from Rough Country. Really dig this bumper, and one of the reasons I really liked it is because it came with extra lighting. So I've got lights here in the back, and man, are these things bright. They're like having mini LED light bars back here, one on each side. Love it. And then of course the placement of the natural or normal backup lights for the truck itself. Now, I also added some LED tail lights. Again, more lighting, brighter LED lights in the back with these tail lights. Love the look of these two. Love the way that they function. When you do the turn signals, they kind of flow in, if you will. Pretty cool look. I've got videos on all this stuff on the channel, so if you want to see more, you can see more just by searching my channel name, which is Rob Motive JT, and then whatever the heck it is you happen to be looking for. Now, you may notice too, I'm wearing sunglasses. That's because I've been out here messing around with the lights and stuff, really just looking at them, and they're kind of bright. Now, I have a plan. I've seen something recently, and it was by looking at things on Facebook of all places. Never good to be on the forums or just to have things pop up on your feed because they give you ideas, and those ideas cost you more money. Now, what I had seen recently is a sport bar, a roll bar, whatever you want to call it. I think it's from I think it's called Black Forest. I forget what it's called. Black Horse, that's what it's called. I always get it wrong, but I have one on the Toyota Tacoma. You can see it sitting right out there. Love the look of that on the Tacoma and think I'll like it even more on the Jeep Gladiator. So what I was thinking of doing is putting a light, or a light bar. Well, it does have to do with lights, but is putting a bar, a sport bar, on the back of the Jeep Gladiator. Now, ideally, I had seen one from SEMA, I think it was, where Black Horse actually has a display. And they have a Jeep Gladiator there that had the sport bar on it. And I really liked it, except when I went to their site, the side panel that they have on the one at the display is different than what they show they sell. And what I'm talking about, and we'll verify the name while we're out here as well, but what I'm talking about is this panel right here. It is Black Horse. Make sure I get that right. I don't know why I say Black Forest. It is Black Horse. But they have this same kind of panel on the one on their website. I like the one that they have at SEMA. It's kind of a lined kind of thing. It's pretty cool looking. Now, the reason that I'm thinking about putting one of these, and the one for the Gladiator is actually shorter. It doesn't come all the way back like this. Although I do like that, obviously, I have it on the Tacoma. But I'm thinking of getting one that kind of stops about here or so. And the whole point in doing it is to be able to add a light bar of some kind, or even the old style KC type lights, you know, those round lights, to the back of the Jeep Gladiator. Now, I will say there is a guy that lives in my neighborhood. He's got a Jeep Gladiator, and he's got it set up as a scrambler. Or maybe he bought it that way, I'm not sure. But it says scrambler down the side, and he has a sport bar of some type, or a bar at least, on the back where he's got the round lights. Really dig that. Not sure I would go with round, although I have nothing against it. Probably would go with something more square, since that's what I already have on the truck, both in the front and the back, to kind of match up. Now, I do have a light bar left over. If you look up there, you can see there is a light bar lying up there. That was actually in the front of the Tacoma. I believe it is a 30-inch, I think it's 30-inch, right around there, light bar. And I thought, you know, I could incorporate that into the light bar, or the sport bar, that I'm thinking of adding to the Gladiator, and then put maybe a couple or four, I don't know, of those square pod type lights on each side of it. I could face them backwards, I could face them forwards, I could even alternate them. You know, have a couple going forward in addition to that light bar, although I don't think that's necessary. I think that's overkill. And that's one thing that I want to make sure I watch out for. I don't want to go nuts and have it look tacky. You know, I don't want it to be a rolling neon sign if I ever turn them on. And the other thing I want to mention about this is they're not really for driving. I don't believe they're even legal to drive down the road with these things lit up. They're more for instances where you might be in a dark parking lot, maybe even backing out of your driveway at night. You can flip them on then so that you can see, so that you don't run into things. Because there's nothing worse than getting ready to go somewhere and slamming the back of your Gladiator into who knows what, and your whole night will be ruined. Probably your whole week, maybe your whole month. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. I'm thinking of adding some sort of a sport bar back here that I can put lights on top. Lights that will project over the front, and lights that will project across the back. Another benefit to having them off the back, I guess, is they would light up the bed a bit. Now, it's not necessary, I suppose, because I do have LED lights in the bed already. They came with the truck. That's not something that I actually added. But they would help to light up the back of the truck at night, which is always a benefit. By the way, I can see if you're a big-time off-roader, or maybe even a camper, of which I am not. Haven't liked camping since I was a little kid. I don't know. But they would come in awfully handy there, particularly if you're pulling in somewhere at night and you want to light the area up so you can get set up for the night. Very handy in that case. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of my idea. Too much? Or hey, why not? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive Rides, all about the Mercedes. This is new to me. I'm doing all kinds of mods and things to this thing, including one that is pretty darn risky for me. And Rob Motive, all about the Toyota Tacoma, which is sitting right out there. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. And don't forget, click the subscribe button here too. Thanks for watching. Stay lit out there. Bye.